So really, anybody who really knows me pretty well knows that I'm a gamer. But I have to say, I wasn't always like, I'm really that big of a gamer anymore, but I still play video games in my off time, and I do play online. I do have an Xbox now, so I've been playing live with like a bunch of friends, from other states. And, just growing up, I was a pretty big gamer. I really have to say, I had virtually every console that was out at the time. I had the NES, I had the Super Nintendo, I had the Sega Genesis. Hell, I even had the Virtual Boy. It's one of the few game systems I have from my childhood that I still own. I don't know why I still have it. It's a terrible game system, but you know what? I'll still play it too. I really don't care. It's just one of those systems that you just need to keep on playing. But you know what? I'm going to give you a list of some of the games that made my childhood excellent. And I'm only going by, the NES because that's what I had growing up, in the initial phases of my gamedom. So here it is, the top 5 games that really defined my childhood. I'm keeping it to top 5 because I'm not really that original. And any hopes of actually getting any originality is just not going to happen for me. Number 5. Adventures in the Magic Kingdom. One of the earliest games I've played on the NES, this game showed me the magic of Disney in its purest form. With many of the games, I couldn't be more happier with. But a lot of people didn't like this game for its lousy controls, but I think it's one of them, it's more like people just talking about it nowadays, but it's just one of those fun games to play, and one of my top choices. Number 4. Marble Madness. One of the first puzzle games I've ever played. It's short but sweet, still challenging to this day. One of the craziest soundtracks I've ever played. Still keeps me up at night every day too. I mean, it's just one of those games you just have to just keep on playing it. Very simple, and it even beats the arcade version. There, I said it. Number 3. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. A game that's really gained its reputation from the angry video game nerd for being one of the baddest game controls ever made, but still, at the time, I still played it. I put up with them. Whatever. And plus, to this day, I still think of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles as one of my favorite game characters of all time. Even also other characters. Just, I can't get enough of these guys. I still love this game. I don't care. Number 2. One of the hardest games I've ever played. Just until recently, a couple of years ago, I actually started playing this game again and actually knowing how to do this game now, the proper way. I mean, it's still really challenging. It still kind of tricks me up. I didn't even understand where the hell I was supposed to go as a kid. I still really don't know where to go. It's still one of those games I will continue to play. It's just one of those near perfect games for me, and it just really sets the bar for platformers. And my number 1 defining game of my childhood is Super Mario Bros. 3. One of the perfect games in my eyes. It's just, it just beats up every other game I've ever played on the NES, even at games today. I just can't get enough of this game. It is a perfect game. It is my definition of perfection on any game system. It's great, it's just enjoyable, and I just can't get enough of it. When I still play this game, I still play it on emulators. I still got a copy of it on NES, but I do not have my original copy. I had to buy it at a later date, but still, that's just how it goes. Nowadays, I see with video games, because as a kid, I just got rid of them for some reason. I'm really regret that ever since then. Yeah, that was the top 5 games that defined my childhood, and I have to really say that just seeing those games again just really brings back many frustrations and many hours sitting in front of the television. Had to beg my mother to let me keep on playing, on certain days, and it's just really just one of those times that I just have to say it really defined me as a gamer today, and it will define me in the future as the games get progressed even more. And the reason why I had the games that are on that list, to be just on there to begin with, they're just games that I had as a kid. I'm not gonna say Contra because I didn't have Contra as a kid, so I'm not gonna say any of those really good games that everybody knows and loves. These are the games I had. These were some of the games I had. So there you go.